whatever his station in life, all the enjoyed karmas that are to be done by one who is born in a Brahmana family are as though done by him. When Atma is not born, to ask in which family he is born is meaningless. It is like asking the height of the son of a woman who never gave birth to a child. Knowing that Atma, all karmas are done by this person, the Buddhiman who has made use of his will and his capacity to discriminate. Having done their job, they become cancelled, badita. It is something like the stick used to push the body into the cremation fire until it is completely consumed.
Yeah, this is what I always use that, no? What do you call, what is that fellow's name? What is that king's name? Harishchandra stick. I used to say, no, I don't know whether I have told you. Harishchandra stick. See,
yes.
that is what Swamiji is mentioning here. See, after the body is burned, the stick is also thrown into the fire.
Yeah.
So once you understand this reality of yourself, your disidentification in the body, mind, senses, then you are like a Harishchandra stick. The body, mind, senses, your role player is already out of your life. So you are just, whenever the ego gets up for some dukkha, sukha and all, just put it down. No. Just put it down, saying that what dukkha, what sukha and all that. Our reality is purna sukham, purushottamam. And it's all in the vagaries of life. It's all part of it. Like that, you have to time and again keep doing the stick, using the stick and tell the body, mind, senses, the ego, keep quiet, don't fool around. Keep doing that till the time your body really goes away.
Okay.
That is beauty. That is the ultimate analogy of the Shastra. Your life is nothing like the person who has understood life is just a Harishchandra stick. Harishchandra stick, na, you understand, no? The Masanathla will use a stick to the body will be already on the fire and it will be burning. While burning, because the gases inside the body will come up. So what he will do is that he will use a stick to put it down, put the body properly, for burning the body properly. So he will keep on doing that. Once the body is completely burned, he will throw the stick also in that. He is not supposed to use that stick for the next body burning. So your life, once you understand the reality that you are Purushottama, all other things, your body, mind, senses, all your emotions, etc., are like the body which is on the fire. So you have to keep, whenever it jumps up, because of some habitual association. That's what I have mentioned in the highlight also.
Yes,
it's only because of habit. We always, immediately, anything happen, what? Then you have to say, so what? So like that, you keep doing that till the time life goes on, you go on like that. But at no point in time you associate yourself with whatever is happening. Sense? You do whatever you need to do, but never having that identity, total identity, where you don't remain as a person in charge. Swamitvam will not be there. If you get identified totally with your emotions, you won't be the master. You'll be mastered by the emotion. So naturally, you are likely to do mistakes. So the only way you can live a sane life is by identifying with the body, mind, senses, which are changing, whereas your reality is the Purushottama, which is changeless. That is the gist of the whole chapter. So samsara is like a vriksha only, like even they say when a wheel is moving, if suppose a bird sits on the rim of the wheel, what will happen? It will go up and down. Whereas if it will get fed up, what is this? Every time I am keeping going up and down, I may get hurt. So it will fly and start sitting on the axle. Once it sits on the axle, you can happily watch the rim moving. So you must sit on the axle. You should not be sitting on the rim. That is our understanding. So that is what is being talked about. Purushottama is that. You be in charge of your life. Because that is your reality. Not because you are smart. because that is your reality. What goes up and down is the changing field of Shara Purusha or Akshara Purusha. Either way, Akshara Purusha is what you go into sleep. Next day morning you become Shara Purusha. Shara Purusha, Akshara Purusha, Shara Purusha. It doesn't make a difference. Whereas you have to become Purusha Uttama Purusha. That is your reality. That happens with understanding. Avidya removes the Vidya. Vidya removes the Vidya. Vidya is error. Error meaning it is not that you don't know yourself. You know right away, but you know it wrongly. You identify yourself with your body, mind, senses. That identification goes means the error is removed. So you become Uttama Purusha. And Uttama Purusha is changeless. Desa Kala Vastu Aparichinna, the dimensionless being. That is Atma, that is Ishvara, that is Brahman. All are synonyms. That is what he is telling. The whole chapter is talking about the Purushottama, Uttama Purusha, which is your reality.
Swamiji, I have seen this action about 20 to 30 years ago. When the body is burnt with fire, it will tend to lift up.
Exactly.
Because
that is because of the gases inside. That's what they say.
And also they say nerves will start pulling. That's what they say.
Yeah.
And so that fellow will hit.
People give a what you call very emotional reason or Shastra reason, or something like that. But scientific reason is the gases inside the body expand when the fire burns. So the body appears to move up. So the person puts it down nicely. That's what.
No, he will hit with a stick.
Yes.
So people will say, why are you hitting my father or brother like that with a stick?
Even on the fire we get identified. Just imagine. Forget.
People used to say that. I have seen it myself.
When you get also you are identifying. It's all avidya, height of ignorance. It's a problem. Yeah. So that is why, see, our customs and culturally also, it makes us very, very aware. All these are only transitory. That is why the son is supposed to go there and do it. He has to witness it. Now electronic cremation, you don't witness anything.
Yeah, this
but you have to witness it. You have to see the reality of that. This is how it is. It all came from the Prithvi and goes back to the Prithvi. You don't take anything, don't come with anything. It's all in between, transitory. It's all as long as it is appreciated properly, it's a vibhuti, it's a vehicle to understand reality. That is all the purpose of this human life.
In the electric, they have a fixture. The body is kept on that and locked.
Yeah.
Then only it is pushed into the.
Yes, you can't see it. That's what it is. That's okay. Scientifically, less pollution and all that. Wood is not required, so environmentally friendly, all that fine. But of course, the sanctity of it is lost anyway. Right. It doesn't matter. It's all modern. You have to adjust our own thing, modern life also.
But will this example hold good after a decade for people learning?
I know, but my son may not know.
No, that is why you have to explain. Otherwise, this much of explanation is not needed. அந்த காலத்துல அவ பேசும்போது பதம் it was
யதார்த்தம். But will they understand after 10 years?
Now, whatever we are talking in English, they were talking in Sanskrit. So they knew. Even a normal person will understand all these things. That is why for them moksha was the Parama Purushartha was there. That is why that story of the butcher, the housewife and the butcher, where she goes and tries to show up, and the housewife's, why are you making me wait and all? She was serving the food for the husband who was not well inside. So that is her first duty. She did that, and then he came to the Aditi and the Brahmin. He started feeding her. When he looked at her with angry eyes, she told, your anger will not do anything to me, because I have done my duty. So that much of understanding she had about life. And then he went to the butcher shop, and he was trying to shop. He said also, it's my profession, I am doing it. You are like you tried to show off in the Brahmin's house, don't try to do it to me. But he himself was aware. That much of Dirgadarshi he was. Then the Rishi understood his folly, that we should not try to show off my Rishitvam to all these people. They are all, even though they are Pamaras, they understand life. That was the time period where everyone understood what is their duty, what is their reality and all. And they just did whatever they have to do in life and moved on. But they understood. So here we have moved on, but we have not understood.
So after the body is burned, the stick is also thrown into the fire. So too the jiva uses its will in a final fling to go to the teacher and learn, doing Shravana, Manana and Nididhyasana. By the end of this process, the will has used itself up and has no purpose to serve. The prarabdha takes over and things happen as they should happen. Bhavitavyam bhavati eva.
Bhavitavyam bhavati eva. Whatever has to happen, happens. That's what it means. Yeah.
Only for a wise man is there pure prarabdha. Anyone else has to go by purushartha, because prarabdha is mixed with purushartha and we do not know which is which. Think of the things in terms of prarabdha is helpful as a shock absorber to assimilate difficult situations or to appreciate conducive situations. Besides this, those who are in pursuit of this knowledge have no use for prarabdha. Therefore, the will alone is the last stick with which the jiva is cremated in the fire of knowledge, and with this the will also goes. The person for whom this is accomplished is called Kritya.
Kritakritya, meaning whatever has been done has already been done. Life is complete. So the beautiful analogy how life is actually coming to a close in a funeral, the same thing comes to a close by understanding your reality. That is why it's called Jivan Mukti. You don't have to wait till the going to the funeral pyre. You do it here and now. By understanding, you become Kritakrityata. By understanding your reality, this Desa Kala Vastu Aparichinnam Atma. Everything else is only a role play. Body, mind, senses are only role play. Once you understand it thoroughly, then the free will, which acts like a last stick, that also goes. So thereafter, prarabdha will sense in your life, something will come because of prarabdha, and you will act appropriately. Your purushartha will not interfere with prarabdha. The sense your purushartha meaning your free will is already gone, the stick is already thrown. So you will do whatever is appropriate. Yadartham. Just whatever you know, whatever you can do, you will do. Nimitta matram bhava savyasachi. So Bhagavad, that is why Arjuna also said, come on, now nashto mohaha. Finally he says, the Gita, nashto moha, now all my confusions are gone. You tell whatever I have to do, I will do. He tells Krishna. And Krishna says, now I have taught you everything, now you do whatever you want to do. And Arjuna says, now I have understood, I will do whatever you say. Just imagine, that's beautiful way in which the dialogue concludes. Krishna says, you do whatever you want to do, I have taught you everything. Arjuna says, I have understood everything, now I will do whatever you say, Krishna, as Bhagavan. See, that is how the teacher-student has to coalesce at the end of the understanding. It's called understanding. In the sense, the vision of Krishna becomes the vision of Arjuna. Buddhim cha sarathim viddhi. We have read it before. Your buddhi becomes Krishna's buddhi. That is why the chariot simile, where the charioteer is originally charioteer is Sarathi. Thereafter your buddhi becomes the Sarathi in your life. Because the buddhi has got the vision from the Guru. So thereafter you live your life Purnam. And your whatever prarabdha, whatever situation that comes in life, you just do acting accordingly. Whatever you have to do, you will do. Without any, any sense of dissatisfaction. Because there is nothing, there is no, changeless is your reality. So as a satisfaction, dissatisfaction plan, there is no space. That is how we have to move into. That's what is. That is how the you call 15th chapter concludes. Yeah, read further.
Shankara says that without this there is no way of accomplishing all that is to be accomplished, and he himself quotes what was told in the 4th chapter. Sarvam karmakinam partha jnane parisamapyate. All karmas, O Partha, Arjuna, are resolved only in knowledge.
Yeah.
Gita 4.33.
Yeah. And also he is quoting a Manu Smriti also later. Yeah.
He then quotes Manu, who says, for Brahmana, a mumukshu, this knowledge indeed is the main purpose, the fulfillment of his birth. He may have accomplished many things, but that twice born seeker finds fulfillment of all that is to be done by knowledge alone, not by any other means.
एतद्धि जन्म सामग्रं ब्राह्मणस्य विशेषतः प्राप्यैतत् कृतकृत्यो हि द्विजो भवति नान्यथा मनुस्मृति.
Naanyata. This is called etadhi, meaning this is what it is all about. That we say, no, this is what it is all about. Etadhi. Janma samagram. Samagram means complete. Becomes complete. Even though, what do you call, Brahmana is only a upalaksham. Anyone in any walk of life, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, whatever it may be, anyone in his life, their purpose is only mumukshutvam, meaning understand the freedom as the reality. That is called mumukshutvam. So once that is the main purpose, once that is fulfilled, everything else to be done is as well done. This is what you have to do as a Vaishya, whatever you have to do as a Brahmana, Kshatriya, and all that. It is as well done because it is all in the prapancha. It is all in the prapancha. It is Ishvara's srishti. So that's what we have said. Madhyarupa apavadabhyam nishprapancham prapanchate. Prapancham is one reality, samashti. In that whatever has to happen, it will keep happening. But that keeps happening, actually the reality is what? Nishprapancham. There is nothing really happening. It's all mithya, like a movie, which I have always been telling. Like a movie, it keeps happening. But the reality is what? Lighted screen. That is Nishprapancham. That is your reality. So once it is in you only everything is happening. In your reality only everything is happening. So to be done, not to be done, and all comes into play only when you think that you are a doer. You are not a doer. You are only a Purnam Brahma. You are a bright screen. The movie keeps running. Oh, be a witness to that. That Shakshi. Shakshi, Cheta, Kevalam, Nirgunascha. There is a famous statement in Upanishad. The rest are Shakshi. Chaitanam, bright screen. Chaitanam means Chaitanyam, bright screen. Kevalaha. You are alone, only you alone is there, nothing else is there. And there is nothing else, what is to be done, what is not to be done. Nirgunascha. There is no change. Changelessness is your reality. Purinjikarada, fulfillment. There is no other fulfillment. You have to understand, own up your reality. You don't have to do anything to become fulfilled. You have to own up your reality. That's what he says, yeah.
Swamiji, etati means, so...
Etati, etat means what is very close. In Sanskrit, they say etat means it is in a distance. Etat means
Close.
you, the. Etati, that is your reality. Etati janma samagram. That's what he says. Yeah.
Lord Krishna further says, because you have listened to this Paramartha Tattva, the ultimate truth from me, O Bharata, you are a man of fulfillment. Bharata can mean the one born in the family of Bharata, or the one who reveals in Brahma Vidya. Revels in Brahma Vidya.
See, Ba means what we have. Ba Rupam meaning light. Ba Rupam means Bhusatayam, Ba Rupam, Chaitanyam. So, Rata meaning one who enjoys, one who revels. One who revels in Chaitanya Swarupa. That also one meaning can be given for the word Bharata. Bharata is a name, simple Bharata Vamsa, like that. Or Bharata, one who revels in the understanding of life. Yeah.
He is Anaga and also Bharata, and thus the Lord praises Arjuna by using these very appropriate epithets.
Anaga meaning one who does not have any
Agam.
agam meaning
Papam.
shokam.
Oh,
Papam, yeah,
Papam.
papam actually. Anaga means who is never given to any papa activities. Because once you understand why there is no necessity for you to do any papa or anything, that omission and commission will come down in life. Because there is nothing to, there is no stakes. You are not trying to do anything to achieve something, to gain something or to get rid of something and all that. Because you are already kritakritya. You are already purnam. That is how it is.
ओम तत्सत् इति श्रीमद् भगवद गीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्म विद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्री कृष्णार्जुन संवादे पुरुषोत्तम योगो नाम पंचदशोऽध्यायः. Om Brahman is the only reality. Thus ends the 15th chapter called Purushottama Yoga, having the topic of the whole person in the Bhagavad Gita, which is in the form of a dialogue between Sri Krishna and Arjuna, which is the essence of the Upanishads, whose subject matter is both the knowledge of Brahman and Yoga.
So I was just telling them, when you are not there, the central theme of that particular summary which I have said is that the nirmana moha jita sangha dosha adhyatma nitya vinivritti kama dvandvepi mukta sukha dukkha sanyaihi gachanti amudaha padam abhyayam tat. So it tells you how you should live, what you should study, why, how you create an ambience where the study is possible, and is what is the result, Paramapadam. All that is told in that one particular verse, beginning 15:5, the fifth verse in that I have explained already in that summary, and everything else. Samsara Viksham is because only appears. Once you understand it, there is no, you don't have to. That is why that Aham Vrikshasya Reriva is also coming, the Upanishad, the Taittiriya Upanishad Shikshavalli. Aham Vrikshasya Reriva meaning, I have explained also, Reriva meaning Prerayita Yukta. You have to only discern, you have to understand it. You don't have to take the axe and cut the tree. You have to understand the reality. Samsara will continue. Samsari will go. You associate, you identify yourself with the changing world and call yourself samsari. Whereas your reality is asamsari. So aparoksha samsari becomes aparoksha asamsari by understanding. That is what it is. That samsara vriksham has to be resolved by understanding. So, and that is what the satsang is all about, that the whole knowledge is all about. Nirmana moha, in the sense, the moha is in the sense identification. And that is happening because of the jita sangha dosha. Sangha dosha meaning all your, because of your indulgence, because of the way in which you have been living, most of the people are in that zone. So naturally you also get carried away. So, which you should not. It's a sangha dosha. So you have to have the like-minded satsanga of people who are in this pursuit. Then only Adhyatma Nitya is possible. Adhyatma Nitya Vinivritta Kamaha. Vinivritti Kamaha meaning Nivritti Kamaha is okay. You understand that Vidya Nalana, the desire pursue pannakkad. But there will always be some backlog. Because of habit, you will always try to indulge a desire, which you should be conscious, alert. That apramatta should be there. Alertness to deliberately bring down your level of indulgence in life. So then then naturally you get the more space between you to do the Shravanam Mananam Nidhyasana. Once you understand that the reality is, as I have always told, aparoksha samsari, and samsari understand that I am aparoksha samsari. It's all. Just one letter gets added in your life. You think all along that I am samsari. Now you understand that I am a samsari. And everything else is samsarati sarati. In sense, whatever has to happen will keep happening. And the very fact that they are happening and you are able to see that is because you are changeless. You are changeless, that is why you are able to see all the changes. If along with the changes you are also moving, you won't be able to see anything. Like if both the trains move simultaneously at the same speed, the other train sitting in this train will look also stationary. Yeah, if only there is, you are changeless and that is moving, then you will see the moving train, or that train should be stationary, you should be moving.
Yes.
Either way, relative, that is why the relativity. It's all basically it is relative. Only the changeless can see the change. The whole movie is because you are able to perceive the changing situation because you are changeless. That is why you are able to see the movie. Otherwise, you won't be able to see the movie. So all these are so very real, but we don't pay attention to this. We think that everything is happening to me. There is nothing is happening to me. The reality is changeless. Whatever happens, it happens in the changing world, including your body, mind, senses. We accept, okay, whatever is happening outside is changing, but we assume that our body, mind, senses are changeless, which is not so. Our body, mind, senses and the emotions, all relationships, all activities this body indulges in are part of the changing world. So that once you start observing it, you will be able to understand that, okay, whatever changing changes, I am changeless and I am Purnam. Changeless means what? Changeless means you don't need a change to be fulfilled. Changeless means you don't have a dimension. You are timeless, spaceless, objectless. That's fulfillment. There is no need. You are already fulfilled because you are the being. That's one happening. We are so much used to doing. We refuse to be just being. That is precisely the whole chapter is all about. Yeah.
Chapter 16. Daivasura Sampat Vibhaga Yoga. Topic of description of becoming and unbecoming dispositions.
Yeah, basically now he is going to say that how to retain your becoming disposition and avoid unbecoming disposition, which we have discussed before, that Maya, Prakriti and all that, where the Sattva Guna, Raja Guna, Tamo Guna and all that. As long as you keep your Sattva Guna up and reduce your Tamo Guna and Raja Guna in life, you will be ready. You will become a becoming disposition. Becoming disposition meaning a disposition and infrastructure within where you are able to one up your reality. In the sense, unless you have a Shantamana Manaslata, Shantam is your reality in Theriyavaram. If Manasa Alapanjita, somebody comes and tells you Shantam is your Surupam, you will not be even at the first level, you will reject it. How can I be? I am so restless. How can you come and tell me you are Shanti Swarupi? You will not agree. So first you have to get to that relatively Shanta level life. That's what he is going to tell. Yeah.
Introduction. In the 9th chapter, we have a verse, Gita 9th chapter, 12th sloka, about those who are entrenched in a disposition that deludes.
Shall I read, madam?
Okay.
Yeah, read.
நான் பார்க்குறேன் படிக்கிறேன்.
You are muted. Please unmute.
Okay. In the 9th chapter, am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the 9th chapter, we have a verse about those who are entrenched disposition which deludes. These are people of false hopes, mogasaha. Okay. Mogasaha. Okay. Of actions are not proper moga.
That he is explaining here. Of actions that are not proper. What it means, he is explaining. Yeah. Moga karmanaha. Of knowledge. That is nothing but error. No. See, moga karmanaha of knowledge, that is nothing but error. Moga jnanaha, and those who have total lack of discrimination. In the sense, by understanding, you are confused. By karma, you are doing error prone. Actually, now, when your understanding is error prone, your karma also will be error prone. That's what he is explaining. Yeah.
And those who have a total lack of discrimination. Vaista.
Vichetasaha. Chetasa meaning knowledgeable. Vichetasaha means without knowledge, without or error prone. Understanding.
Okay. Because this English it is written, I am unable to read what.
Vichetasaha. Because Chetas meaning Chaitanyam. Chetas means knowledge. Vichetasaha meaning without knowledge. Yeah.
Okay. That disposition is that of an asura or a rakshasa. The next verse, on the other hand, describes those who are committed to a divine or spiritual disposition. Being mature, they seek Bhagavan, the truth of everything. This disposition, the Devi and the Asuri, are explained further. Are explained further now.
Further, see, what he means is in the 9th chapter, he talked about Devi Sampat and Asuri Sampat. And the Devi Sampat is basically Sattva Guna Pradhana. Asuri Sampat is basically Tamo Guna and Rajo Guna Pradhana. So, we have to avoid that Rajo Guna and Tamo Guna and move to Sattva Guna. That is why mind is itself called Sattva. Why? Because mind is supposed to be Sattva all the time. Whereas, because of our habits, we have got it mixed up with Rajoguna and Tamaguna. So sometimes we behave like an Asura, sometimes we behave like a Rakshasa, sometimes we behave like an animal. Except being a human being, everything else we behave. Which we have to get, the first level is you have to become a human being first. Manushyatvam, then Mumukshutvam. Then Viveki Chudamani. Manushyatvam, Mumukshutvam, then Mahapurusha Samsaya. That's what I said, Satsanga. Like-minded people. So, all that has to, we have to grow into it. That is what is called becoming disposition. Yeah.
The next verse, on the other hand, describes those who are committed to a divine or spiritual disposition. Being mature, they seek Bhagavan, the truth of everything. These dispositions, the Devi and the Asuri, are explained further now. Shankara introduces this chapter, reminding us of the Devi, Rakshasi, and Asuri dispositions, briefly mentioned in the 9th chapter. We will not translate these words for the time being, except to say that Rakshasi and Asuri are opposed to Devi. In order to show this in detail, this chapter is begun. This disposition, which is called divine, Devi, is meant to help you again to gain freedom from samsara, whereas the Asuri and the Rakshasi dispositions bind you to samsara. In order to cultivate the values that constitute the mind of a person with a spiritual disposition, certain virtues are presented. The qualities and consequences of the Asuri and the Rakshasi dispositions are also told in order that we may avoid them. Both these types of qualities, Devi and Asuri, appear to be very natural in one individual. Even a rank criminal has sympathy, friendliness, and affection under certain circumstances. Although in this way, the opposite qualities seem to be very natural, they are really not, because they are not in keeping with the nature of Atma. How unnatural they are has to be seen by first understanding the values and then being very alert about cultivating them. In keeping with the understanding, one has to nurture the new values, and break the habits.
Break the old habits, yeah.
Break the habits that are rooted in the old understanding. The purpose of the 16th chapter is to help us to do this. A Rakshasa is someone from whom you have to protect yourself. This is a person whose value structure makes his behavior damaging to the well-being of others. Naturally, you have to protect yourself from such a person. Gita 12, what is that? Okay. And Asura is one who finds enjoyment only in the sense objects. He has no real aesthetic appreciation or interest in anything profound, and consequently only dissipates his time and energy. Also for him, the end is the important thing. So he will like power, name, pleasure, etc. are so important that in the process of gaining them, he does not mind harming people. This is an asura. It is their modes of thinking and value structure that constitute the disposition of an asura or a rakshasa.
So basically the asura rakshasa is just to technical terms in terms of shastra. But in society we know we have all these things amongst ourselves. We don't have to really look for an asura or a rakshasa. All of us know how much we are indulging in life. For getting one thing, we are willing to compromise on values. All those things, all of us have gone through. If we are honest to ourselves, we know that how much of asura we are, how much of rakshasa we are. We have to avoid those things. As we go along, as we grow up in life, as we grow mature, more and more mature, just stop indulgence on all those things and we give a greater value to the sattvika sampatti. And just be simple, like do unto others as you would like others to do unto you. So we will live a simple living, high thinking. Just drop off all those other attitudes, indulging attitudes, all that party going and all that, trying to show off. All those things we have to take it out of our system. And that is possible as we grow mature in our life. That's what he is trying to say. Yeah.
The purpose of this chapter is to help one cultivate Daivi Sampat, spiritual wealth.
This is a disposition, Devi Sampat. நம்ம சொல்றோமே தெய்வமா இருக்கார், நடமாடும் தெய்வமா இருக்கார் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி அவருக்கு பூஜை பண்ணிட்டு தீர்த்தம் வாங்கிட்டு வந்துடுறோம். So that we remove our guilt. We don't want to be like him. அவர் அப்படியே இருக்கட்டும், நான் அப்படியே இருப்பேன். I will go and get Anugraha and Bhakshanam and come back. That is precisely, you have to, the only way to go to the Mahapurusha is to be like him. That is the only way you can really be grateful to him. Not by getting Tirtham and Prasadam. You have to be a Devi Sampat. That's what he says. Yeah.
The values are shown not for self-judgment, not for judgment of others, but to understand each one of them so well that the understanding and yourself are one and the same. Then, if there is any particular tendency that is against that understanding, it is made to conform to your understanding of the value structure. Values are not to be kept as an ideal, but understood thoroughly. Then, an attempt to conform to them is a necessity only to the extent that an old tendency persists. This does not mean that we never make choices that are convenient. As long as the choice is not against our understanding, we must certainly adopt it. But convenience is not the main criterion for choice. If it goes against certain values, we do not do what is convenient, but do exactly what is to be done. This is the discipline. Daivi Sampat. Those values that we are to cultivate, the Lord tells us in the next three verses. The three verses are to be read together because Bhavanti, the verb for all three is in the third verse. Okay.
Yeah, the third verse Bhavanti comes, so everything we have to continuously read. Yeah.
Verse 1. Abhayam sattva samshuddhe jnana yogavya vastitihi danam damascha yajnascha swadhyayastapa arjavam.
The second verse also you read.
Second verse also. The meaning I did not read it? Okay.
Yeah, afterwards you can read.
Okay. Ahimsa satyam akrodas tyaga shantira paishunam shantira paishunam daya bhuto valo lutvam bhute okay. Daya bhuteshvalo lustvam mardavam hira chapalam.
Third.
Hrira chapalam. Okay. Hrira chapalam. Right. Verse 3. Tejas shama drudis shocha.
Shaucham.
Shaucham.
Shaucham na siddham.
Cleanliness.
Shocham. Shaucham. Adroho nati. Nati manita bhavanti sampadam. Daivim, Daivim, Abhijatasya Bharata.
See, that's what he concludes, no? Bhavati sampadam devim. இது மூணு வருஷம் சொன்னதெல்லாம் sampadam devim bhavanti. அப்படின்னு சொல்லி he is giving all the values. Some of these values you have already seen in the 13th chapter. Some of the values we have seen in the 12th chapter. In the sense, Adveshta, Sarva Bhutanam, Maitra, Karuna, Evacha. How you have to behave to others. That he has told clearly. Adveshta, Sarva Bhutanam, Maitra, Karuna, Evacha. How you have to be. Amanitvam, Adambitvam, 13th chapter we have said. Now he is summarizing all that. In the sense, once you have all those listed values, and you are a Devi Sampati. If you don't have those values, you are either Rakshasa or Asura. So that's what it is basically. So all of this we have seen it before, we know it also. Now he is summarizing for our benefit and explaining it also, give some additional info. So now go to the first verse and give the word meaning.
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha said, Abhayam, freedom from fear, Sattva Samshuddhihi, mind, Jnana Yoga.
Purity of mind, yeah.
Beauty of mind, okay. Jnana Yoga Vivastitihi, Jnana Yoga Vivastitihi, steadiness, sorry, 1 second. Steadiness in content.
Steadiness.
Steadiness, actually it is steadiness only, not even the L, I think is a mistake. Steadiness in contemplation. Jnana Yoga Vivastitihi.
Steadiness in contemplation.
Contemplation meaning when you are, when your mind is in, alert to the whole reality and all that, you contemplate, you be with it, so that you can claim that reality. Since you don't have to, you don't that identification, habitual identification with your body, mind, senses, you can knock it off in contemplation, because your reality is changeless reality that you can contemplate upon. That steadiness you have to acquire. The steadiness will come only when you are able to sit in a contemplative mode. For that you need to have a lifestyle that is conducive to that. You can't dance around all the time and then sit in meditation for 15 minutes. It doesn't happen. So your lifestyle has to be conducive to that. Yeah.
Jnana Yoga Vivastitaha. Steadiness in contemplation. Dhanam, charity. Damaha cha, and judicious restraint. Yajnaha cha, and the rituals. Swadhyayaha, recitation of one's own branch of Vedanta. And
here, Yajnasaha, rituals meaning your Nitya Naimitya karma. What is to be done karma? Not doing this ritual, that ritual, forgetting Swameda Yaga, the sense like that, all achievements, how to grow your business. That sort of a ritual is not talked about. Yeah, meaning Nitya Naimitya karma. Whatever used to be done in your day-to-day routine, your propitiation of the Panchabhutas, Pancha Yajna, Atithi Deva Bhava, Tirudeva Bhava, all those things. Those are all the rituals that are being talked about as Yajna here. Swadhyayam, recitation of one's own branch of Veda. Yeah.
Swadhyaya, recitation of one's own branch of Veda. Tapas, austerity. Jnanatvam, arjavam, alignment of thought, word and deed.
Yes, yeah.
Verse 2, ahimsa, absence of hurting. Sattvam, truthfulness. Akrodaha, resolution of anger. Tyagaha, renunciation. Shantihi, solution of the mind. Apaishunam, absence of calumny.
Calumny, basically gossiping. Apaishumam meaning gossiping.
Calumny is gossiping.
Have a pastime of gossiping all the time. That should be avoided.
Okay, calumny is gossiping. Okay. Calumny and or slandering. Slandering. Bhuteshu, with regard to living beings. Daya, compassion. Alolutvam, absence of ardent longing.
Basically, we say no. In Tamil also we say sometimes lo na layram. That is exactly lo lutvam. Alo lutvam is opposite of it.
Mardavam, softness. Grihi, modesty. Achapalam, absence of physical agitation.
All the time somebody will be all the time shaking their legs. They won't be able to sit simply. They will all the time shaking legs or moving some, or at least somebody will be all the time putting some goofing up with the pen in the paper and all that. At the end of the class, you find his paper will be lot of figures because he cannot sit quiet, sit tight, fidgety all the time. That is what we should avoid.
Chapalam, achapalam.
Achapalam. Chapalam meaning fidgeting. Fidgeting should not be there.
Chapalam we say in Tamil, chapalam.
Chapalam. Achapalam meaning fidgeting, basically.
Tejas, brilliance. Shama, composure. Dhritihi, fortitude. Shaucham, cleanliness. Adrohaha, no thought of hurting. Na ati manita.
Manita, ati manita. Manita meaning, see, everyone needs to have some self-respect. Like, you must have that confidence about your life. You are a nice person. Ingra or disposition irukkiradhu thappilla. But ati manita, that others should tell you are a great fellow. That is called ati manita. Always expecting others to approve of you. That is what you should avoid. That we have already seen that amanita. Same way.
Na ati manita.
Exaggerated self.
No exaggerated self-discipline.
Self-opinion. Not discipline, self-opinion.
Self-opinion. Okay. Self-opinion. Daivim sampadam. To the wealth of devas. Abhijatasya. For the one who is born. Bhavanti. Are there. Bharata, O Arjuna. Shri Bhagavan said, freedom from fear, purity of mind, steadiness of contemplation.
Yeah. Let us complete this explanation of English, and then we'll.
Steadiness of contemplation, charity, judicious restraint, performing rituals, recitation of one's own branch of judicious restraint. Sorry.
No.
Branch of the Veda. One branch of the Veda, religious discipline or austerity, alignment of thoughts, word and deed, absence of
thought, word and deed. That is Arjava.
Alignment of thought, words and deed, absence of hurting, truthfulness, dissolution of anger, renunciation, dissolution of the mind, absence of calumny, composition for living, compassion for living beings. Compassion for living beings, absence of ardent longing, softness, modesty, absence of physical agitation, brilliance, composure, fortitude, cleanliness, no thought of hurting, and no exaggerated self-discipline are there. Self-opinion are there for the one who is born to the wealth of devas and asuras.
Wealth of devas,
Arjuna.
Divine disposition, that's all.
Arjuna.
In the sense, you raise yourself to the level of a person. Devas are supposed to be sattva guna pradana. That is why the Devi Sampat they had, that is why they became devas. So it is assumed when you say wealth of devas, meaning that is where Devi Sampat means what? Wealth. Devi Sampat means good qualities which will ensure that you do only punya karma, not papa karma. But we are not interested in punya or papa, we are interested in the disposition where I am able to own up my reality. All this which has been summed up from the 9th chapter, 11th chapter, 12th chapter and given 13th chapter and given here. So that we recap all those good qualities and we build it in our personality, in our lifestyle, so that it becomes easy for us to study and understand the reality. That is what he is concluding it. So each one of these needs have to be understood thoroughly. That's what he has said. We will continue in the next class.
Oh, simple para I read.
Yes, last para.
Each word, the simple one. Each word here is a quality for the one who has cultivated or is born into the spiritual wealth. Daivim, Sampadam, Abhijatasya. Each one of these has to be understood thoroughly.
Yes. Yeah, we will see that. We will see one by one. Actually, the whole chapter will get into each of us in a real-time situation where exactly we can improve upon us. That's what he also gives his input.
Actually, it runs into pages, this explanation.
Yeah. It's important, like in day-to-day living, all these are very important. So So we must, Swamiji will nicely give certain examples also to make it real for us. So that we don't, we think that it's all theoretical. No, it's really very practical. Vedanta.
Actually, somebody came in between, Swamiji. That's why I had to read.
Oh, no problem.
Om Namadah Purnamidam Purnat
Purnamudachyate Purnasya
Purnamadaya
Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Guru Namaha.